What is something super important that is on the verge of happening? Last week, a Pakistani-based terrorist blew up a bus killing 41 Indian soldiers in the disputed territory of Kashmir. India blamed Pakistan for the attack and swore revenge. Pakistan had replied saying that India takes revenge, they will retaliate. Yesterday, a group of Indian fighter jets crossed into Pakistani airspace, conducted an airstrike on the terrorist camp in Pakistani territory. If true, this could start an Indian-Pakistani war, where both countries are nuclear powers. Update. Looks like the verge of happening actually happened. Pakistan shot down 2 Indian fighter jets and captured one of the pilots. India has also apparently shot down a Pakistani fighter jet. Making organs from stem cells. Hurry up already, science. I need a kidney. Edit. Thank you all for the kind words and offers to donate your kidney. If you are seriously considering being a donor, please Google how to become a living donor. It is the current best case scenario for those in need. My function is around 18%, so there are others out there who have a greater need. Another India-Pakistan war. The launch of the James Webb Space Telescope. It will bring us a new notion to space and reality. Edit. Apparently I'm dyslexic. Edit. Thank you for the gold and silver. Kind strangers. For some positivity. We're on the verge of having a net positive increase in trees rather than decrease. Apparently we're already at or near a net zero. Doesn't mean you should stop caring though. Edit. Oh. Okay. Wow. This where I say thanks for the gold. Some people asked for source. I'll have to find it. I read this a few months ago. The first human corneas have been 3D printed by scientists. They cannot be used for human eyes yet. But in the future, the technique could be used to ensure an unlimited supply of corneas required for cornea transplants. Privacy is disappearing. And there's little to no way to save it. Cameras, sensors, etc. are everywhere, and software is mining the data for information on us. The software is ever improving and the sensor coverage is ever increasing. Brexit. Not the vote, but the actual action of Britain leaving the EU. The deadline is on March 29, and there is currently no plan to solve the trade issues and border disputes that were solved by Britain being in the EU. Malaria vaccine. There are dozens of promising candidates in early trials right now, and hopefully at least one will be highly effective and affordable. This will be not only a huge game-changer for eliminating malaria and improving the lives of hundreds of millions of people, but it will also mark a huge scientific success as the first vaccine against a complicated parasitic organism. Hopefully we will gain key insights from this process to be able to develop new vaccines for other complex organisms, such as HIV, TB, and influenza. Also, if you are an anti-vaxxer, fuck you. Edit. Holy shit. This blew up. 1. There is a currently approved vaccine RTS that has completed stage 3 trials. It was approved in 2015, but is now rolling out in a pilot program to 3 major countries this year. However, the efficacy is non-optimal, prevented 40% of malaria cases in children over 4 years. Not to poo-poo this effort, but there are literally dozens of other competitors targeting different stages of the malaria lifestyle. And it is very likely at least one of these, or perhaps a combination of several, will be much more effective. 2. To those worried about overpopulation, which is a very valid concern, check out this video by Bill Gates, TL. DW. Improving health does not lead to population growth, but rather population stability as families have less children. 3. As many have pointed out, a malaria vaccine is just one part of a multi-pronged approach to malaria elimination. We also need mosquito population control, despite growing insecticide resistance. Better anti-malarial drug treatment, despite growing drug resistance. And new methods of detection and surveillance, such as rapid diagnostic assays. Elimination this disease is one of the greatest challenges our race has faced. But I believe that we can do it. This is our generation's man on the moon moment. And 4. And to all the anti-vax comments and PMs I received. My message above still stands. But if you are willing to have a reasonable discussion regarding the pros and cons of vaccination programs, I would be happy to discuss with you. My only prerequisite is that we use only peer-reviewed journals and high-quality evidence to support our claims. Children dressing up for their homecoming dance and the theme is 2000s. Not a global thing, but I haven't walked in over half a year, due to injury, and I get to start trying to walk tomorrow. So that's super important for me. Update. It went great. It was kinda painful, but I was able to hobble around like a champ, in my opinion. The doc says keep the amount that I try walking per day to a minimum, but that I should be back up and about in no time. Thanks for the silvers and golds, everyone. I've never gotten those before. I'm dying. I'm trying to live my days till I either get some dead guy's organ or die a slow and painful, from what I'm told, death. I love my life. I'm in a constant process of good things happening. I don't worry. I'm a good dad. I get to spend my days with the girl of my dreams and our wonderful existence. I'm living in overtime. Anything can happen. Edit. Wow, I wrote this comment right before I fell asleep. I've read every comment and you guys are alright. Drink responsibly. Seriously though. I'm touched. Edit 2. Gold? Popped my cherry. What does it do? This is a depressing thread. As Wi-Fi covers more and more of the country, phone companies will lose their ability to charge exorbitant prices because telephony will be available everywhere. MagicJack will be all you need. All calls and texts running through the internet. I feel like something big is going to happen regarding antibiotic resistance. We'll start to really see the effects of the problem within the next few years. Was about to happen but now has. Number 3 in the Catholic Church worldwide is spending his first night behind bars for child sex offenses. Breakthroughs in graphene cells and batteries. Right now we're stuck with lithium because graphene doesn't store large capacities of power very long, but once we're through that hurdle, it'll be no exaggeration to say you'll have smartphones that charge from 0 to full in a matter of seconds. Electric cars which will almost never have to stop for charge because the charge pads on roads will keep them topped off. And in general, the stagnation of high-end tech will end, since for a lot of things like processors, the main thing currently holding us back is the amount of energy they can draw. Edit. RIP inbox. The Special Olympics World Games will happen in 2 weeks in Dubai. And I'll be participating as an athlete. Wow, so many upvotes. Thanks guys and girls. I'll be participating in the shot put and track event for the Danish national team. I live in developing country. The glut of fake news wreaks havoc in day-to-day life, wherein not-so-educated people are not at all able to differentiate them and they treat WhatsApp forwards as absolute truth. These fake news are impacting people on sensitive issues such as religion. If not controlled, these would have devastating consequences. Emo. Edit 1. People are asking about what it all has to do with religion. Some power groups use social media channels to spread false news about wrongdoings of other groups to incite hatred against particular religions and radicalize people, leading to communal riots. This has all become part of vote bank politics. Edit 2. This is my first answer to cross 1 Kelvin upvotes. Thank you, kind stranger, for the Reddit gold smiley face. A large number of Americans are falling behind on their subprime car loans, which could lead to another, 2008 economic collapse. Pakistan and India are probably on the verge of war. I'm teaching my cat how to high five. Edit. Whoa. This blew up. Silver and gold. He's doing really well. He was getting the hang of it at the end of about 5 minutes of training. I've clicker trained him before to touch his nose to a wand. So he knows that the clicker is the good boy noise *TM and he'll get a treat. It helps that he's superfood motivated. Images of the boy. Sorry, they're a bit blurry. I was trying to be paparazzi. Do the clicker. And dispense treats at the same time. His name is Leo and he knows that he's a good boy smiley face. Edit 2. It's more of a low 5 at the moment. But he's only had 4 training sessions. I'm quitting my job as a sailor to become a stand-up comedian. Wish me luck. George Pell going to jail. We're in the midst of a 4th industrial revolution, automation. This revolution will basically see the near-complete removal of human muscle from most of the economy. Trades, professions, services, and knowledge work should be okay. But manufacturing jobs will be hit hard. We're going to have to figure out what to do with a significant portion of the population that can no longer find productive work. For those that don't follow politics, tomorrow is likely going to be an explosive day for the U.S. administration. I'm sure those that don't follow politics or are tired of Trump spam on Reddit will dismiss that as yada yada. We've been hearing this for 2 years. But it's hard to deny how big tomorrow is. Michael Cohen, Trump's longtime personal attorney and fixer, is going to prison for a multitude of felonies, including at least 2 that Trump is directly implicated in as individual one by SDNY. Tomorrow, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, will be the first time Cohen testifies before the public on these charges. He is supposedly bringing hard evidence, including financial documents, of the implication of Trump in these felonies. Only a judge, jury, and lawyers have seen this evidence so far. And it was enough to convict Cohen beyond a doubt. So it's undeniably damning and credible. I fully expect to be downvoted, since general Reddit subs hate Trump news. But this could be a historical moment. If it turns out to be nothing, I'll eat my words. But there is nothing to suggest that it won't be astounding to watch. Edit. Cohen just released his statement for tomorrow minutes ago. Buckle your seatbelts, folks. And GT, I am providing the committee today with several documents. These include, and GT, a copy of a check Mr. Trump wrote from his personal bank account, after he became president, to reimburse me for the hush money payments I made to cover up his affair with an adult film star and prevent damage to his campaign. And GT, copies of financial statements for 2011 to 2013 that he gave to such institutions as Deutsche Bank. And GT, a copy of an article with Mr. Trump's handwriting on it that reported on the auction of a portrait of himself he arranged for the bidder ahead of time and then reimbursed the bidder from the account of his non-profit charitable foundation, with the picture now hanging in one of his country clubs. And GT, copies of letters I wrote at Mr. Trump's direction that threatened his high school, colleges, and the college board not to release his grades or SAT scores. On top of this, and GT, Michael Cohen, President Trump's former lawyer, will tell Congress on Wednesday that Trump knew his longtime advisor Roger Stone was communicating with WikiLeaks about publishing stolen emails from the Democratic National Committee. According to the text of his prepared opening statement, that's the closest thing in U.S. law code to collusion, conspiracy to defraud the United States. A financial bubble on student loans that'll lead to a recession and a complete restructuring of the way student loans are given out. The star Betelgeuse is likely to go supernova during this century. To understand how important this is, it will be the first Milky Way supernova since 1861. And by far the brightest supernova in recorded human history. Betelgeuse is very close by. A supergiant, ca 1000x the Sun, and already one of the brightest stars in the night sky. When it explodes, it's likely going to be brighter than the full moon for many months. Visible even during daytime. Between 1993 and 2009 it got 16% smaller, collapsing at a rate of 213 meters per second. And the rate is increasing. Came to this thread to see the many advancements in technology. Left afraid of a nuclear apocalypse or death by supervirus. Edit. Geez, what happened here? Went to bed with 50 upvotes and come back to this. A Pakistan-India war that could result in the use of modern nuclear warheads. Tensions have been building consistently between these two countries, and straight-up nuclear war is a distinct possibility. Edit. To clarify what this means, what's likely is an escalation in conflict. Legitimate all-out war, but not likely nuclear attacks. Neither country benefits from the get-go by doing that, and it's even more likely that their own destruction would be guaranteed. However, it's still a possibility, especially if one side appears to be catastrophically losing. India lost 41 troops in a single terrorist attack recently. And Pakistan still appears to be funding these groups. 2 warplanes were shot down. And overall the situation appears to be escalating far above the regular skirmishes on the hotly contested border. That being said, you shouldn't be incredibly afraid of nuclear war. Nukes are quite simply a last resort. And basically a suicide pill for any country that uses them. All in all, don't expect them. But don't expect sunshine and rainbows over there either. This is likely to be kept isolated to the region and nothing more. The effects bee and insects extinctions. Pesticides are really fucking bad. Within a decade or so there will be an explosion in the number of people in their 50s and 60s that require a place in a residential nursing care home. If you look at the age of the population in care homes at present, they are mostly very elderly people that in their youth and middle age had active jobs or lived active lives without even really trying. They walked to the store, walked to work or cycled. And the housewives were active in their day-to-day activities. Not to mention the amount of people in manual labor. They also ate fairly healthy diets and in the main were not obese. Today many people sit at a desk all day and eat rubbish. The vast majority do not keep themselves active or do any kind of resistance and cardio workouts to balance that. Obesity rates are such that we have people in their mid-40s that find it difficult to mobilize themselves and have pain when walking or getting out of a chair. I was speaking to an orthopedic surgeon a while ago about this issue, connected to my work, and his view was that a lot of people are focusing on diabetes as the ticking time bomb health-wise, when in reality the amount of health and mobility issues caused by obesity will hit just as hard. So within a decade or two we will see the youngest population ever requiring nursing care due to immobility. Fusion energy. Every week a new result comes out where the plasma has been kept stable longer, at higher temperature, etc. With the international collaboration on building first prototypes of positive net energy fusion reactors, we will change the world overnight. Free energy. Very little pollution. Basically forever. Edit. This seems to be getting some traction. I'll put a few things I found interesting here, since I cannot keep replying since I really have to get some work done today as well. Many comments are skeptical and rightly so. Fusion is a bit of a running joke that's always just around the corner. I believe this time it's different. This is a nice brief vid that does a lot better job of explaining why than I could. The second most heard reply is that if it happens, it will be ridiculously expensive. Here's a nice paper with a thorough analysis of the costs involved that impressed me. Hint: it's not expensive. Will we get other renewables faster and cheaper than fusion? Could be. We'll have to see. I don't much care as long as we get off the fossils. I feel like the fucking of my life. Fully self-driving cars. They will be a huge convenience and ease traffic congestion, but will put millions of people out of work. Edit. This is in context of people who drive for a living, truckers, UPS, FedEx and such. Jobs with fairly low skill and decent incomes that will be replaced by self-driving cars. I have a date this weekend and I really want to kiss her. We've gone out a few times and we've been hitting it off really well. I've got a really good feeling about her. So wish me luck. Edit. I've been asked to provide an update afterward. Our date is this Saturday, so I'll update this comment afterward. Also, first gold. Thank you, kind stranger. Edit 2. Mission accomplished. At the end of the date, I told her I liked her and that I really wanted to kiss her. Thanks for the line NSA_chatbot. She said she appreciated that I asked first and then just came right at me lol. Then like the totally not smooth guy the first am. Asked for another one. She laughed and we kissed a second time before she got into her car. We have another date planned for next weekend. SpaceX is launching the first test flight of their new manned capsule this weekend. When they launch, it will be the first human-rated flight to launch on U.S. soil since the end of the space shuttle. Climate change is no longer in the future. It is now. The hottest years recorded all but one happened since 2000. What's on the verge of happening is people realizing the scale of the problem. I will know by the 28th of this month if I got an internship at the place where I have been dreaming of working. Not important to everyone but crazy important for me. Update 1 to 7. 49 p.m. February 28, 19. No update. Radio silence. But they send rejections before acceptances, so maybe I should be excited? I will update again when I hear back. Update 2:10. 32 a.m. the 3rd of March 19. Just got a rejection email. Summer school it is. Last season of Game of Thrones. Being clean of opiates. 1 month is coming up in 2 days. The first time I have been clean for more than a few days in 7 years. I realize this may not be important to anyone else, but it's the most important thing to me. The piece of Antarctica twice the size of NYC that's breaking off soon. Also the 1,000-foot deep hole in Antarctica the size of Manhattan. Global warming naysayers. Prove this wrong. I wouldn't know where to start, but do some research on Zimbabwe if you are interested. Friend of mine moved to South Africa from Zim. Had over 100 farm animals. She shot and killed all of them because guerrilla fighters are going around Zimbabwe brutally killing and torturing animals and people, and they were a day away from her farm. She wanted to give her animals a peaceful death. Recession time. Legalization of magic mushrooms. Edit. Damn. This escalated quickly. Titanic 2 setting sail. Personally, I think I'm going to start seeing a therapist for a bit. The mental health checkup I never had. Update. Thanks for the replies and overall encouragement. I gotta stop pushing it off. If I can schedule appointments for my teeth, surely I can do it for my brain as well. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.